Oh, sorry about that. I need to cut off my ring, girl. How's it going? I'm about to go lay in the bed or something. But anyway, so I'm looking at people. There are people that are talking about how high the prices are being raised in Walmart. They show the comparison to the bill, like when they pay for something, and then like 2020, 2023, and now in 2025, it's like double the price. Um, and I was listening to this lady talk about how her and her husband, she's always been frugal, but now she has to definitely just spend her life living on a budget. Like they can't even afford to just get the basic necessities, so they will never be able to go on vacation at this point. It's really hard having a family right now, unless you are just very filthy rich. Unless you're rich, but I want to say beyond just being having seven figures, you need close to eight figures at this point right now if you have a family in the United States of America. Um, I would not want a family right now. I have dogs, and but they're not as hard as taking care of children. I have to say they're not as bad as having to take care of children. I can leave my house, be gone all day, and they can stay here. you know. Um, and I just gotta, I get them dog food and stuff. Dog food costs a lot of money, but other than that, it's just really hello. Yeah, it's hard. You have to spend your entire life on a budget. What good? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it to myself too. What good is living a life? What good is your life if you have to constantly be frugal? It's nothing wrong with being frugal and being careful how you spend your money. But if you have to be like that your entire life, like you can't do anything, what good is life? Obviously, you have to be mindful of how you spend your money unless you're just some crazy trillionaire. Obviously, you have to be careful of how you spend your money. But then when you have to be frugal, that's on another level because you count every single penny, you can't hardly do nothing. That thing with frugal, yeah, I'm frugal, like, okay. Yeah, I can be frugal, and then when it's time for me to go on a vacation and have a good time, I can save up, put some money away, so when I want to have a good time, I can have a good time. But just to be frugal, um, and now people don't have a choice at this time but to be frugal. You have to spend your entire life being frugal. You just cannot enjoy your life. What point is life? Like, what point? What was the point of being born? What was the point? Now, I'm going to say this too. Some of us have other things that we're supposed to be doing that our soul wants us to do. Some of us already know our soul's purpose, and we have not gotten into it yet. Some of us need to be trained. Some people are already there, and they just haven't gotten into it. Um, and we haven't moved into it yet. What's the purpose of life? Why even be born? Like, what is the purpose? There's no purpose. I wouldn't bring children into the world if I can't even hardly afford to buy groceries. Why? What's the point? No, don't give birth to somebody that cannot have a good life. Like, what's the point? I mean, at this time, I know years ago things were different. But at this point in time, no need in giving birth to anybody who you cannot guarantee them a good life. Like, why even bring them into the world? Things are changing. I had a conversation last week about 2020 during the demic, during the demic. during 2020, and I said a lot of those mom and pop shops were getting closed down, being closed down as those these big franchise, these big companies were taking over, like Amazon and the bigger places like Target, Walmart, as they were taking over, the little mom and pop shops was closing down. And I was talking to a guy, and he said, that's because around that time of these big companies were cheaper than the mom and pop shops. They had to charge a little extra. I said, yeah, but look at what's happening now. Now what they charging is more than what people were charging in the mom and pop shops. This is what I was talking about, folks. It's not always good to go along with everything. I was talking about this before when China went online to talk about what people are really paying for all these different brand names, right? And they were willing to have people from the United States of America call them directly or contact people in China directly to get the same items that people are paying thousands of dollars for. And I said, that's putting a lot of people out of work. People are not going to get commissions. And I get to see, people need to stop being selfish. But I know people want these type of things and they want to save money, but they're helping out China and they are taking down the United States of America. I mean, I don't want to blame people for like saving their money, but at the same time, like the mom and pop shops closed down in 2020 because you had companies like Amazon and Walmart and all these other big companies that was just took over to the point where the mom and pop shops had to close down. And people didn't want to go shop at the mom and pop shops. And some people like, yeah, I didn't want to shop there. But like, you see, but now look at what happened. These Walmart, Target, they don't care about regular people. They don't care about the average person. The mom and pop shops, they care about the average person. Yeah, they might have had to raise their prices because they didn't get as much backing as you would at Walmart. So maybe they did have to raise their prices. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes look at the bigger picture. You might want to save your money, but look at the bigger picture. How is it going to look in the long run? These companies closed down, number one, because of the demic. A lot of people could not return to work. They were closing folks down like restaurants. They were making them close anyway. But it was getting to the point where they couldn't afford anything, you know. But then I've had people tell me that they had chose to go to these other places where they were going to save some money and get a big bulk. And they chose to go there. But now these places are treating you like crap, though. See, like it's time you got to look at the bigger picture. Now you don't have anything else but these big businesses like Walmart, because the other little shops had to close down. You know, so yeah, I don't know, but I just feel like talking about that. Like, what's the point of life? And I'm really thinking to myself because like it's a there's something I'm supposed to be getting into doing, but I have to actually take lessons, right? Some people are already ready and they're just afraid, and I understand. I get that because it's a different world, but at the same time, it's no need in just living your entire life not doing what your soul wants you to do, especially if you know it's something that might make you happy. Then it's no point in living life not doing what you want to do. Like, what's the point of life? Like, just end the human life. If this is how it's gonna be, just end the human life. Just end it. And I've said this before. Sorry, I'm eating. I've said this before. Um, it's time to stop letting these politicians run things. This has been an ego-driven society for way too long. It's not been controlled by the Most High. It's been controlled by egos. And the Most High really has not been in it that much. And it's time to stop just letting those people come in and decide what they want to do. The last few people that we've had in office do not care about humanity at all. They don't care about humanity. And it gets to the point where I don't see the point of having a president. Why have somebody come in office and vote for somebody and they don't even care about humanity? What are you voting for somebody who don't care for you? They don't care about you. They don't care about humanity. So why even vote? But they have these debates and they have these what you call it, these rallies, and they sound so good. But at the end of the day, they don't care. And but for some reason, folks don't seem to ever understand it. They get in their emotions. They don't critically think. They get in their emotions. They let their emotions do all the deciding for them. And they forget the last couple of administrations. It's clear that they don't like humanity. So why vote for somebody who will not like you? I mean, if you're a billionaire, I can see why voting for somebody, or just like even if you're not, either way, I saw problems with either side. But I'm gonna tell you this: as crazy as it is right now, I'm glad the other administration not in. I do not want the other administration. That's gonna be a whole nother topic right there. Listen, United States, as bad as United States was built on, well, I want to say if if the next administration that might come in after Donald Trump, they're going to make sure that Christianity, in my opinion, they're going to make sure that Christianity is completely removed. And I don't know if that's going to be a good idea because there's a lot of people who's not Christians. That's fine, but at the same time, they are free to practice whatever they want to practice. Nobody's policing them on their spirituality. They're allowed to do whatever they want to do. If you don't want to be a Christian, fine. But I was talking to somebody, and there's going to be a group that's going to come in, United States of America, that might take over. And they're going to force everybody to worship, to convert to their religion. Christians and everybody else alike, to convert to their religion. They don't want people just walking around and being free. They don't want to have feet made of clay. Okay? They want to be solid. And that means people can't be free to just practice whatever they want to practice. It has to be just one religion. You can't do what you want to do. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's crazy, but it depends on where you are, what reality that you're going to be in. Yeah, it all depends on what reality you're going to be in. But I just feel like talking about that really quickly. Um, anyway, yeah, so what's going on, you guys? What is going on? Anyway, I just feel like talking about that really quickly, and I'll talk to you later. Okay.